One of the tools that we use at White Docs to help people to set realistic goals is something called a S.M.A.R.T tool. S equals specific, M is measurable, A is achievable or attainable, R is realistic, and T is time specific. So let's go through those again. We'll start again with the S. S being specific. For example, let's just say that you wanted to get in shape. Instead of just saying, I'm going to get up every morning and I'm just going to do everything I can to get in shape, what you're going to do is you're going to pick a very specific thing that you want to do. Let's say it's going to be jogging. I'm going to get up every day and I'm going to jog. And what you want to do is you want to then do a S.M.A.R.T goal against jogging. So the idea is that specific is going to be, I'm going to get up for 30 minutes every day and I'm going to run or jog either inside or outside depending on what the resources are that I have available to me. The next thing will be measurable. You're going to know that you're going to be able to achieve this goal because you're really taking the time to measure out what the goal is going to look like at each of the specific steps. So for this goal, we're going to say it's going to be 30 minutes. That way, when I get up and I run for 30 minutes, I know that I've achieved that portion of the goal because the measurement around it is 30 minutes. The next thing you want to look at is A. Is it attainable or achievable? The way you want to look at that is to decide, do I have that 30 minutes every day? Is it something that I can do? Do I need to start with a walk first before I can go to a jog? What shape am I in already? Do I need to really go back and say, oh, you know what, I need to do some stretching first, or I need to walk first before I can actually do that? But let's just say that you're in shape and you can do some running. So now you know that your goal is achievable because you can do that 30 minutes of running. The next thing you want to do is to look and see whether that's going to be a realistic goal. That's the R. And that means, are you actually going to get up and spend 30 minutes of your day running? Is it really important to you to do that? If it is, and it is that you have the 30 minutes every day, then it's something that is realistic. The next thing is going to be time specific, which means you want to look at the day and say, what time of the day will I do this? Where will I know that that's the best time of the day that I have the 30 minutes? Is it upon rising? Is it upon going before you go to bed? Is it the middle of the day? What's the best time for you to do it? And therefore you set that time to say, that's the time I'm going to do it, and there's no questions about when you're going to do this. So if you look at the whole thing now, what you've got is you've got a goal that you know is SMART because it's specific, it's running, you know it's measurable, it's going to be for 30 minutes, it's achievable that you are able to do that 30 minutes of running without having to worry about building up to that. It's realistic because you do have the time in the day to do it, and it's time specific. You're going to do it every morning upon rising because that's the best time for you. And that's a SMART goal. So now we can understand SMART goals in sort of a broader context. What we want to do now is we want to look at how you can apply that same SMART goal methodology to the everyday challenges that you're facing. And those challenges are sometimes very big or very small, but they can all feel somewhat insurmountable at times. So what you want to do is you want to spend the time to really think clearly about what it is that you want to achieve, why you want to achieve it, and don't get stuck into whether it's something huge or something small. Little things are just as important. For example, if one of the goals that you have is to make sure that you're able to spend some time every day with your children, just talking and relaxing, perhaps playing a game, or just having 5 or 10 minutes of good conversation. So little goals are just as important as big goals. And often the success factor that you feel in doing a lot of little goals is actually more than when you feel when you've just achieved one big goal. It's the little choices that we make every single day that propel us forward. So what I'm asking you to do is to look at something that you want to achieve for the day. Again, let's just say it's something as simple as making sure that you have spent some time speaking to your children about something fun that they've done during the day. Keep that in the back of your mind. Think about what's going to get in the way. Is the television on getting in the way? Is there going to be phone calls that may come in? Is there homework that needs to be done? Is there other things that need to be taken care of? Simple things like laundry, finding out what we're going to have for dinner, that sort of thing. Yes, you want to set goals that are going to play to your strengths, which means in a sense things that are somewhat easy for you. Goals don't have to be difficult. They don't have to be monumental. They can be little and they can play to your strengths. For example, if one of the things that you're good at is telling stories, maybe one of the things you're not good at is reading. Don't set a goal that's going to have you read to your children every day. Instead, tell them a story. It's just as valuable, but it plays to your strengths, so it can be easily done by you, and it's enjoyable. Make sure that you have the resources around that you need so you're not struggling to put a goal together, to put your plan in place. Make sure you have support. I think what's really important to me about the notion of goals for people is also that people talk about their goals. Talk to other people about their goals. Tell other people what it is they're trying to achieve, because that gives you some support. People are often very hard on themselves when they set goals. It's almost like a punishment that they put in place, and it doesn't need to be that way. A goal is something that, when it's accomplished, is something for celebration. But there's no reason not to celebrate all the little pieces as you go through. If I've decided on the goal, and I've thought it out, I've applied the SMART technology to it, then I can celebrate the fact that I've actually done that. That's actually getting something done, and a lot of people don't do that. They just look at these goals and say they're big, scary, awful things that have to be attempted, and people get very nervous just about stepping into the process of goal setting. And goal setting is very, very simple and very, very easy, but it also should be fun. People should be enjoying it, because you're not going to continue with something if it's not fun. That's what I mean when I talk about the toleration level. One of the things that's important when you're trying to set goals for yourself is to ensure that they're goals that are for you, that are relevant to you, that are meaningful to you, and not goals that are built on what we should do, what we ought to do, what we've been told to do. In fact, one of the things that we call acting on things that we should do is shoulding all over ourselves, that we should be doing this, we should be doing that, we ought to behave this way. And that kind of pressure actually takes us away from what's really important to ourselves. When you set a goal, or when you take the time to decide that you're going to make a little change, most of your time should be spent on what is that change? What's that change going to do for me? Where is it going to move me forward myself? Is it going to be something that I really, really want inside of myself? If the circumstances were different, is this still a goal that I would want? Is this something that I'm doing because I'm reacting to what people are saying to me or the situation that I'm in? Or is it something that's proactive? It's because deep inside of me, I've always wanted to be a certain way. You want to make sure that you're in tune with your internal workings when you make a goal, because it's only you that's going to be able to push it forward.